Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Camden and welcome back today to another live stream. It is the live game preview to our upcoming Premier League fixture against Liverpool at Anfield. The one that we've all been dreading for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, the whole season pretty much. We've been dreading this match, and that's not only because it's a derby and they notoriously don't go very well at Anfield, but also because of the form that both teams are currently in. Liverpool, obviously top of the league, only dropped 2 points all season, and that was against Manchester United in a game that, they could have won, they could have lost, granted, but they could have also won. They've been flying. They've won the last 13 in a row at Anfield. They're also unbeaten in over 40 games at Anfield as well. So not only that Liverpool are in such good form, but Everton are in really, really bad form as well. We couldn't buy a point at the minute. We literally are struggling every single week, whether it be against sides at the top of the table or whether it be against sides towards the bottom like we are. We're literally struggling every single week, and that all adds to the effect of the Merseyside derby, doesn't it? As if it wasn't enough with it being a Merseyside derby, an occasion at Anfield, a game that we haven't won in over 20 years in. The form of both teams also is just a little bit of sprinkled, on top, isn't it, as to why we probably aren't looking forward to this game. Listen, let's start with a little bit of positive news before we go into talking about the derby, before we go into giving my predicted starting 11. The best bit of news I've heard probably for the last 2 or 3 weeks as an Evertonian is that Richarlison has signed a contract extension with the football club, which takes his contract into the 2024 season. So Richarlison now is contracted to the club until the summer of 2024. I believe he signed the contract extension today. Marcel Brands did come out last week when they gave a little bit of a statement on the managerial situation, and he said that Richarlison was due to sign a new contract and he has officially put pen to paper, and it's all being confirmed today. Richarlison said that he's really, really appreciative of the football club. He trusts the football club and he wants to spend, his future at the club. He said he's really appreciative of the fact that they've given him such an opportunity to not only play in the Premier League and score goals in the Premier League, but also for his national team as well. So that's really, really positive bit of news, obviously, coming out of today. Have you seen my little reaction video last night, just after we done the game review to the Leicester game? The FA Cup third round draw took place, and of course, is anybody shocked? Everton were pulled up against Liverpool at Anfield again. The fixtures will be played the first week of January, between, I think it's the Friday and the Monday, the first weekend of January. I think it's the 3rd to the 6th or something like that. So we'll now play Liverpool twice in a matter of a month, along with Leicester twice in the matter of a month, Chelsea, Manchester United, etc. So it just adds to, I said it yesterday, it just adds to the plethora of difficult fixtures that we've got coming up really, really soon, and it's just another added game that we really, really don't need. But anyway, on to tomorrow's game. Listen, it's a Merseyside derby at Anfield, and I understand that this is probably, listen, as Evertonians and as a fan base, we don't look forward to these games. I think it's fair to say, because not only have we not won in such a long time at Anfield, not only have we seen some really, really shocking performances at Anfield in recent years, but genuinely something goes wrong, we get a man sent off and it shouldn't be, a decision goes against us, or, prime example, last season, Jordan Pickford throws the ball into his own net when ideally we could have won that game. We had the opportunities to win that game of football. Andre Gomez had a header which was literally 2 yards out, which still to this day, how it didn't go in is purely beyond me. Yerry Mina had a free header within the first 10 minutes. Bernard had an opportunity as well, and we lost the game in such a gutting and such a horrible fashion, a little bit like we did on Sunday against Leicester. However, I think at this point in the season, there'll be a lot of Liverpool fans, I think there'll be a lot of Evertonians as well, that are looking at this going, well, you know what, they're doing so well, they're right at the top, they're a team that, no team in the Premier League is looking like they're going to take points off them at the minute. They're beating everybody left, right and centre. I think they've only, probably fair to say, they've struggled in a couple of games this season, but they've still managed to get the win. And we're, like I said, we can't buy a point. We're literally struggling in every single game we play. So I think there will be a lot of Liverpool fans that are thinking, you know what, is this just too good to be true? Is this going to be the game where a side that, realistically have been really, really poor this season are going to come and are going to, beat us and be the first team to, take 3 points from us this season? And I'd love as an Evertonian to sit back and go, yeah, that, it's set up for that, it's set up for an upset, but it's Everton Football Club, so it really wouldn't surprise me if we just go there and we just go, actually, you know what, we could turn up and upset you, but we'll just roll over and let you beat us, because that's what we do. But regardless of that, we still have to go in with some element of positivity. There's absolutely no point as a fan base there's no point as a football club, and there's no point in the team tomorrow as going into this game negatively, going in with negative thoughts and going in with the mind frame that we're going to get absolutely tonked. We may as well go in with the mind frame as that, yes, these are a better side than us, yes, they're top of the league, yes, they're doing well this season, but if we're not going to perform, we're going to give 150% of passion, of fight, of urgency and shot, and give the fans exactly what they deserve. And I think that's what we done last season at Anfield a little bit. We were on the back foot in that game as well. Liverpool were performing well. Granted, we weren't, we hadn't hit our tough patch yet, but we still weren't performing to the best of our ability. And we went to Anfield and, we bossed the midfield. And granted, we had a midfield pairing of an Andre Gomez who was in form, and a Disagana Gay, who's obviously been a massive loss for us this season. But I think, this season there's no reason to why we can't go in and we can't give 110% and we can't show a bit of fight and show a bit of passion. Now, obviously, the squad is looking wafer thin going into this game, as it looked wafer thin going into the Leicester game, and, the injuries really aren't helping us at the minute. But I think Marco Silva will more than likely go with a similar team and a similar setup as to the one he did against Leicester, because I think it worked at times against Leicester. I think it nullified Leicester's midfield, and I think it stopped Leicester from playing the way they wanted to play for large parts of the game. Don't get me wrong, ultimately it doesn't matter because they got through twice and they scored twice, and we lost the game, so it doesn't really matter in the end. But I think it's been probably the most successful formation that Marco Silva's played in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I think he'll go with it again. Now, you see my predicted starting 11 over there on the right hand side and the left hand side, so you can see with the personnel I've gone through. We'll talk about that in just a second. But listen, this isn't a game that a lot of us are going to want to talk about. It's not a game that we want to sit down and talk about. I'm dreading it. I'm absolutely dreading it. Every time I think about it, I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, I just want it to be over. I just want it to be this time on Thursday when it's all done and dusted and we can just forget about it and move on, because I'm really not looking forward to it. And I never look forward to Merseyside derbies. Even if we were winning every single game of football and we were challenging with Liverpool for the title and we were up there, I still wouldn't look forward to this game, because I've got no confidence in Everton when it comes to playing Liverpool, let alone playing Liverpool away from home, especially considering how well they're playing at the minute. But it's almost like we've as a fan base, we've not got anything to lose, really. Marco Silva's got a lot to lose in this situation, because he could lose his job at the end of the day if he doesn't put in a performance in this game and if he doesn't come out with something. As a fan base, we need to look at it and think, well, realistically, we couldn't buy a point at the minute. We've been absolutely shocking for the last however many weeks. Liverpool have been on top and beating everybody that gets in the way, left, right and centre. So the expectation is that we don't go in there and we don't get anything out of the game. And maybe that'll give us a little bit of a boost. Maybe that'll be, act in our favour. Maybe I'm clutching at straws, I don't know, but we have to go in with an element of positivity, because there's absolutely no point in us going in feeling defeated and going in thinking, well, we're not going to get anything out of this game, because then you won't get anything out of this game. We proved last season when we went to Anfield and we thought, they're playing well and it's going to be tough to get anything. We could have won that game. We could have easily won that game on another day, but we didn't, because we didn't take our chances and they got an absolutely lucky goal towards the end of the game. So why we shouldn't go in with a similar sort of mindset as we did to that game, it baffles me. Eugene says Richarlison signs new contract into the 2024 season. He does. LCFC Boy says, hey up Cam, I mate, you'll be doing well. Jonathan says, I mate on Sky Bet, Gallardo favourite for the job. Yeah, again, I wouldn't listen to anything that Sky Bet say, because they're just doing it to boost the odds, so loads of people put money on it when realistically there might be a chance of Gallardo coming to Everton, but Sky Bet will make a load of money on it. Deke says Iwobi as CM. Yeah, we'll go through my predicted starting 11 in a minute. I think Iwobi should play in that central midfield role. I think Gylfi Sigurdsson needs to come out for this game. Again, he done absolutely nothing last week against Leicester. He's done nothing for a matter of weeks now, and I'm not willing to take the fact that he could, produce a moment of magic at some point in the game, on the basis that, for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, he's done absolutely nothing. Eugene says, Everton are going to buy players in the January transfer window, Marco Silva said. Marco Silva mightn't even be here in the January transfer window, but he did say that. Lewis says, hello, agree with Moise Kean to start. Hello, mate, hope you're doing well. David says, we need a Lamborghini. We need 11 Lamborghinis, mate. Chris says, hi, mate, just saw on Wikipedia earlier that Marcelo Gallardo is currently Everton manager. Obviously not true, Wikipedia these days, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it can be edited by anyone, can it? If you go on Benitez's, that probably says Everton manager as well. Kevin says, don't forget it was Everton who stopped their last longest unbeaten run. It was. Chris says, thoughts on Iwobi at CM. I think he needs to play there, to be honest with you. Obviously, he's more suited to the 10 role, the number 10 role, the attacking midfield role, but in this scenario and with this formation I think Marco Silva will play, I think he needs to play in the centre of midfield, especially if Bernard is fit. It is absolutely vital that him and Richarlison are the wingers and that Iwobi is in that centre midfield. David says, can't throw the kid straight into a derby, he needs confidence and time, not hanging out to dry. I don't know if you're talking about Iwobi or Moise Kean there. I think Moise Kean 100% should start in this game. I think he gives us a lot more than I think the other two strikers do. Now, granted, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored, is our highest goal scorer this season and has proved that he can be a goal scorer. But I think Moise Kean just gives us a little bit of swagger. I think he gives us a little bit of something that Liverpool's defence will think, well, actually, we don't really know how to deal with him. We haven't seen an awful lot of him, so we don't really know how to deal with him. You put Dominic Calvert-Lewin in front of, Virgil van Dijk, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a fantastic player at winning the ball in the air, at bringing it down. The thing Dominic Calvert-Lewin needs to improve on is his finishing. And if you put him next to 75% of Premier League defenders, he will get bloody hell, can't get me words. He will get the better of them in the air, he'll bring the ball down and he'll be able to use the ball to his advantage. However, putting him up against a defender that's just been in the running for the Ballon d'Or, putting him up against a defender like Virgil van Dijk, who, let's have it right, I know we don't like him and I know we're Evertonians and I know we don't want to give Liverpool players or anybody to do with Liverpool any praise, but he is one of the best, if not the best centre-half in the world. Putting Dominic Calvert-Lewin up against a player like that isn't going to help him whatsoever. You put Moise Kean into this game and for me, it adds a little bit of unknown to Liverpool. It adds a little bit of, what does this kid bring? How much pace has he got? How skillful is he? How good is he? How good can he be? He is obviously a little bit out the blue, and he's obviously a little bit mysterious with that shot that he had against Leicester, which I don't think any of us seen coming, and it was very unlucky not to go in. So for me, I will put him in. PG Danny says, red sides in the cut, what an effing disgrace. Hopefully we beat them to shut up about the 6 times bollocks. Hopefully, mate. Lewis says, not Iwobi and CM play Davis over Schneiderlin. I think Schneiderlin will come in for this game. I do. I don't think Marco Silva will go with Tom Davis after the other night. I personally wouldn't take Tom Davis out, but I just think Marco Silva will. Eugene says it be Marco Silva's last game for Everton tomorrow night. Maybe it will be. David says Iwobi is driving, can break the lines. I agree, but if Richarlison and Bernard are fit, then they need to be in this team. The only other way I could see Iwobi playing on the wing is if Richarlison plays as the striker. Where are we? Chris says, as a Liverpool fan, I will say form goes out the window. I'm nervous for it tomorrow because it's a derby at the end of the day. I don't know whether form does go out the window, to be honest with you, because as an Evertonian, form goes out the window is a saying for a Merseyside derby, and is a saying for any derby. And whilst 10-15 years ago that might have been the case, I don't necessarily know whether it does go out the window now, and I'm not confident that Everton are going to go there and give any sort of performance tomorrow night, because I just think the side that we'll be playing is, like, regardless of anything, take away the fact that it's Liverpool Football Club, take away the fact that it's the Merseyside derby, we're going into a game against top of the league who haven't dropped points to more than one side this season, who haven't lost the game this season, who are currently unbeaten. If that was Manchester United, if that was Manchester City, if that was Chelsea, we'd be looking at this game thinking we're in the shit here because of how poor we've been playing recently. So I don't know how much form does go out the window. We can definitely upset you, but I think it's as much in the mentality of the players, in the mentality of your players, and in the mentality of our players. And what I've seen the last 5 or 6 weeks from the mentality of Everton players is it doesn't give me any confidence as to us going into this game and getting anything, but that's not to say that won't change. LCFC boys says I've gone for 1-1 as my score prediction. Eugene says I'd take 1-1, to be honest with you. Eugene says, do you think Marco Silva will get sacked after the derby if we don't win? I don't know. David says 20 odd years, Chris, and we're shit, so I think you're okay. Chris says my score prediction, Liverpool 2-0, Everton, no offence, you lot have to back my team. Obviously, Chris, no problem with that. AXE says I think Thomas will play instead of Bernard. I don't know whether you're talking about Tom Davis there, maybe. David says Thomas who? Jamie says, have you seen that Gallardo's favourites? Hope it's true. I have seen it. Whether there's anything of it other than just rumours and Sky Bet trying to make money, I don't know. AXE says Davis. He also says that Iwobi will switch with him because obviously David can't play the wing. Eugene said we can play Anthony Gordon for the Merseyside derby. No, I don't think Anthony Gordon will be in the squad, to be honest with you. AXE says Sigurdsson's legs have gone. Sigurdsson shouldn't be playing either. Deke says I would go for Unai Emery and Lucas Torreira on loan, or Xhaka as he is out of favour. I don't know about Unai Emery. I think he's a good manager, but I'm just not convinced. David says, so Davis, Shittle, Richie, Iwobi and Keane. Why not start Davis, Iwobi, Richie and DCL? I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Davis, Iwobi, Bernard, Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I just think I'd love to see Moise Kean, because I'd love to see what he can offer us from the start against the side that won't be expecting him. And And I would like to see Tom Davies in the team, but I just don't think Marco Silva will go with Tom Davies. Hernandez says, hello Cam, how nervous are you now that it was dreadful run has started? I wonder who we pissed off in the FA that we keep getting shafted this time of year. All the best, man. All the best to you too, thank you very much. I don't even know whether it's nerves, to be honest with you. It's just a lack of excitement. It's just a can't be arsed feeling. I'm not nervous about the game because I don't expect anything out of the game. I'm not nervous because for me to be nervous, I'd have to think, oh, you know, these could turn around and beat us here, or, you know, maybe we could get the win. I'm not nervous because I don't expect anything. I just simply cannot be arsed with it. I cannot be arsed with Liverpool beating us and all their fans and all the social media and this, that, the other. I just want the game to be over so we can just get it over with and move on. So I don't really know whether that's as much nerves or it's just as much of a... I'm just, at the moment with Everton Football Club, this is a game that we really, really don't need. Actually says Anthony Gordon could be on the bench. He could be. David says give up the... Actually says Everton don't want good evenings but a good manager. True. Samuel says, do you think Moise Kean will stay at Everton? Should stay at Everton? Yes. Chris says... Well, I've just lost it. He says the games at Goodison Park won't be as confident in the game at Anfield because of the poor record recently at Goodison Park. Carl says Gylfi is just having a rough patch, still our best midfielder. Maybe he is, but he shouldn't be in the team on the rough patch. David says, what's the odds on a 96-minute winner for Everton or Liverpool, mate? I think the odds will massively vary depending on who you're talking about there. Carl says if we win, we'll go on a run. Deke says, why David Unai Emery took Seville to the Europa League and Xhaka's in the midfield, unique, commanding and strong. Don't like Xhaka at all. I don't think he's a good footballer. And you're right with Unai Emery, you are right. And he took Arsenal to a Europa League final as well. I'm just not convinced. Carl says Davis is better than Xhaka. AC says Everton lack pace in the midfield without a Wobie. True. Wayne says Bin, Schneiderlin and Holgate for Davis and Delph. Delph isn't fit. David says, or mightn't be fit. Xhaka has been nothing but caca, not the Brazilian wizard. Samuel says, if Marco gets the sack, who do you think will come in? Really don't know, to be honest with you, mate. And then we'll go through the rest of those comments in just a second. We'll go straight into my predicted starting 11 in a second because I want to talk about it and I want to explain it. Give me just 2 seconds and let me just tweet today's stream out. Give me a second. How are you doing, by the way? Are you looking forward to the game? I'm not even going to turn around and say you're confident because I don't think any of us are confident, but are you looking forward to the game? Are you nervous? Do you think we can possibly get something? I think I wouldn't put it past Everton to get something out of this game tomorrow, and by that I don't mean winning, I don't mean, you know, absolutely turning Liverpool around, but I wouldn't put it past Everton to go out and put in a real good gritty performance and come away with a, you know, a point, or maybe even come away with a point and deserve it a little bit more than a point. I wouldn't put that past Everton because, again, we've seen Everton sides that have gone on shocking runs for weeks and weeks and weeks and then come up against sides that, you know, are doing really, really well in the league and actually perform and actually put in a decent performance and make a decent account of themselves. Again, whether that'll happen tomorrow is obviously a total different question, but I wouldn't put it past Everton. I really, really wouldn't put it past Everton. Anyway, going into my predicted starting 11, let's talk about it. That's what we're here to do. It's the game preview. We're going to talk about the predicted starting 11. So in goal, I've gone for Jordan Pickford. I've gone for the same back five as Marco Silva went with against Leicester. Luka Dean on the left, Mason Holgate, Yerry Mina, Michael Keane in the centre of the defence, and Jabril Sidibe at right back. No movement with the right back, obviously. Seamus Coleman still out injured, very similarly to Luka Dean at left back. Leighton Major's fit, but let's be honest, he's not going to play. And the 3 centre-backs are the only 3 centre-backs that we currently have, so they're going to play. I've gone for a 5 at the back again, or 3 at the back, whichever way you want to say it is, because I think it worked well at times against Leicester. Don't get me wrong, it didn't work well at times, and I think the midfield massively let it down on Sunday. However, I think it did work well at times, and I think it done what it needed to do in nullifying Leicester's midfield and stopping Leicester from breaking forward and stopping Leicester from creating a plethora of opportunities. And for large parts of the game, it stopped their attacking line from getting any real space. Now, if we're going to do it against Liverpool, we need to make sure that we do it at a much higher pace, at a much higher level, and we do it an awful lot better, because Liverpool are, for me, a step above Leicester, despite, you know, how well Leicester are doing this season. But I think Marco Silva will look at the formation. I think Marco Silva will look at the way we performed and the fact that it was marginally better than it was against Norwich. And I think he'll probably keep the same format. I think he'll probably keep the same formation. Having said that, I've gone for 2 in midfield. I've gone for Alex Iwobi and Morgan Schneiderlin. And this might be a shock to some people. I think a lot of people will want Tom Davies to stay in there. I think a lot of people might, you know, want Gylfi Sigurdsson to stay in there. I think Gylfi Sigurdsson needs to come out. He's been poor. He's been absolutely shocking. Let's have it right for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. So I think he needs to come out because he's not performing. And I wouldn't necessarily take Tom Davies out personally myself, but I just think Marco Silva's going to take him out. I've just got this feeling that Marco Silva's going to bring him out because obviously of his performance against against Leicester, and he's just going to give him a little bit of a time on the sideline, and he's not going to throw him into a game like Liverpool at Anfield. I personally would, but I just think Marco Silva won't. So I've gone for Iwobi and Schneider in the midfield. Schneider obviously to provide the defensive cover, and Iwobi to provide that pace, that power, and that space that we're going to desperately need. We need to win the midfield battle on Wednesday night tomorrow, because if we don't win the midfield battle, we're going to get massively overrun, because it's going to be massively difficult to beat them in the to get past the defence because of how well the defence is, and their attack is on fire as well. So we're going to need to win that battle in midfield. And then I've gone for a front three of Bernard, Richarlison and Moise Kean. Obviously Bernard made the bench against Leicester, didn't come on, but made the bench, so I would assume that he would be fit for this game as well. Richarlison just signed a new contract, our most important player, our most prolific player, 100% needs to be in this team. And Moise Kean up front, again, something that might confuse a couple of some people, something that people mightn't agree with. But for me, listen, I think Moise Kean deserves his opportunity now to start, and I'm not really looking too much into the fact that it's a Merseyside derby. I'm not really looking too much into the fact that it's Liverpool at Anfield, and that, you know, it's a game that we could struggle in. For me, Moise Kean come on and effectively created more in the 15 minutes that he was on Sunday than Dominic Calvert-Lewin done in the entire game, and also created more than Cenk Tosun has done in the entire last couple of games as well. And for me, I think he deserves his opportunity. And like I said, what he gave us last Sunday was he gave us a little bit of mysteriousness. You know, he come on and you were almost thinking, well, what's he going to do here? How's he going to approach this game? How's he going to approach this opportunity? And he created a couple of really, really good opportunities for himself. He very nearly put one in the back of the net. And he was getting involved, and you could see he wants to fight, and you can see he wants to play for the football club. And for me, I think Moise Kean is the only striker that we could put in tomorrow night that would make Liverpool's defence sort of think, what's he going to bring? What's he going to do? How good is he? What can he do? Whereas if you put Dominic Calvert-Lewin in there, they'll just say to Van Dijk, you mark him, make sure he doesn't win anything in the air, and that'll be it. He'll be marked out the game and we'll have no threat. Similar with Cenk Tosun, they'll put one of them on him and just say, he's got no pace whatsoever, so just make sure he doesn't get anywhere near the goal, keep him at distance, and he's not going to do anything. Whereas you put Moise Kean in there, I think they'll go, hang on, how do we deal with Moise Kean? We haven't really seen him play an awful lot this season. When we've seen him play, he's impressed, so how do we deal with him? And allow Moise Kean to be free, allow Moise Kean to run at the defence, allow Moise Kean to take players on, allow Moise Kean to force them into making silly fouls. And I think, again, that's that sort of, it's that mysterious factor that I think could, you know, give us an awful lot going forward tomorrow that I just don't think Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Cenk Tosun will bring. But anyway, that's my predicted starting 11. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Obviously, Luca Dean taking the captaincy if that is the starting 11. Where are we then in the live comments? Deke says, Xhaka good long passing and strength. He's a good leader too. I'm just not having the Xhaka stuff, mate. Cal says Xhaka is a terrible leader and can't pass a ball. Wayne says 4-3-3. Forget 4-5-1. They've got a crap keeper. Obviously, Alisson is out. They'll be playing Adrian. Deke says, why does every manager trust him then? I'm not too sure about the Xhaka stuff. Carl says, Wayne, Liverpool are the best keeper in the world, but he's out. David says, goal, good leader after his last game. Traino says, why are people thinking on Holgate so much? It's the same people saying get Kean out a couple of weeks back. Yeah, I think the pair of them will play tomorrow, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. War Nation says, is there a player who stands out that you think is worth going in for in January? Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. A big signing, a big name signing. I'd love us to go for like a Timo Werner, or just put the thought out there for a player like that, but I don't know. At this minute, a realistic signing, I really don't know, to be honest with you. Chris says, Cal Alisson suspended to edge in his goal. David also says that. Deke says, to be honest, he had the best rate of long passing when he was in Germany, being a captain. Yeah, I'm not airing the Xhaka stuff. I don't want Xhaka. But not in the Prem, rightly so. Cal says, well, Xhaka, shit, and he's not a leader because he can't do his arm on the floor. Yeah, and we don't want that type of attitude as well. That's another thing, that Xhaka's got a really, really poor attitude. Cal says, Eugene says, who do you think will win the Euros 2020 in June? Probably France or Germany, like you said. Wayne says, Delph never fit, why we sign players like that. He has struggled with injury this season. Hopefully he can regain to fitness. Deke says, why'd you sign Theo? Theo done well when he come in, but it's just, struggled when we're struggling, I think it's fair to say. Axe says, I've not won an Anfield in 20 years, so most likely Marco's last game. That all depends on the board. Eugene says, do you think the Premier League needs a winter break to make the players better? I think the players get paid far too much money to need a winter break, if I'm being honest with you. Wayne says, could play 6 at the back, we would still concede 4. Very good point. Axe says, Theo lacks finishing. Zia says, Jürgen to sack Klopp. I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. David says, 8 million Wayne, cheap winner who should be able to instill some fight and belief if he wasn't always getting a massage at Finch Farm. Very good point. Deke says, yeah, I mean, he is old. I expected someone like Sarr or a young winger, that's all. Wayne says, only bonus if we lose tomorrow, Silva will be sacked. I hope. I don't know whether he will be, to be honest with you. I really don't know whether he will be. Deke says, play Frankfurt and he'll be sacked. Carl says, we have Richie and Bernard as the wingers, exactly. Hernandez says, how upset will you be if Sigurdsson somehow magically makes it into the lineup and makes it captain? I think it'd be a disgrace, to be honest with you. Axe says, Bernard could bring Dean's form back, hopefully. Wayne says, Dean ain't had a rest all season. No wonder he ain't playing at his peak. Fair enough. Very, very good point. David says, can we cash in at Snadlin and Sigurdsson at cash converters? Wayne says, you get a TV and a goldfish. And David says, Sigurdsson is never a captain. I agree. Carl says, I've been a critic of Kean, but he changed the Leicester game for us, spot on. Ash says, whoever the manager is should really use the under-23s for cup games. Fair point. Kevin says, Walker back from illness. Coleman and Delph still out injured. Exactly. Eric says, I'm not looking forward to this game. Me neither. BHA7 says, what's the ratio of Everton to Liverpool fans in Liverpool? I don't know. There's more Everton fans than Liverpool fans, though. Eric says, I think your midfield is too attacking. Maybe. Dave says, with Snadlin, are you nuts? Axe says, won't matter because most of the tickets go to Liverpool fans. The football fan says, please check your direct messages on Twitter, Cam. I will do a little bit later on. I'm just going to finish this team, and then I've got a couple of bits to do, and then I will do. Axe says, Snadlin hasn't done bad recently. Does his tackle job. Stewie says, it'd be typical of us to win tomorrow night after we've been shocking. It would. Ziad says, who's bigger, Everton or Liverpool? Everton. David says, yeah, no, it would be empty tomorrow. And Ziad, calm down. Eric says, Marco Silva in game management is shocking. It is. Axe says, that's true because he takes ages to make a sub, like 5 minutes he does. Obviously, still Everton manager. David says, quick I can. I'm going as quick as I can. And Chris says, I have to go and make good luck tomorrow. No hard feelings, may the best team win. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for getting involved as per usual. And Jonathan says, Decore in January. Maybe it's a potential signing. I would like to see Decore come in January. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's live game preview. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. It means a massive, massive amount to me. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Listen, this is a game that I don't think any of us are looking forward to, for being perfectly honest, but this time in 24 hours, we're going to be an hour away from kick-off, and we've just got to get it over with, haven't we? And then we've got to go and get it over with again in January, and we've just got to pick up points in between, in the middle. I'm not particularly confident. I'm not particularly looking forward to the game, but I know we can get something out of this game, and I know for definite we have to go in with a positive mental attitude, and we have to go in thinking positively, because, if we don't, what's the point in turning up? But anyway, it's going to be tough, obviously. Regardless of whether it's Liverpool Football Club, let's take that away from it. It's a Merseyside derby, let's take that away from it. Just purely on the surface, we're playing the side at the top of the Premier League, and, I've barely dropped points this season, and that in itself is going to be really, really tough. Anyway, a big thanks to everybody for watching. Please do hit that like button if you have enjoyed the stream. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for the instant match reaction straight after the final whistle, of course, to hear my instant thoughts on the game. It means a massive, massive amount to me if you could subscribe to the channel if you're new as well, and like I said, leave a comment if you're watching as a YouTube video, and I'll get back to them tonight. Eric says, the way we played against Leicester and the way we play against Liverpool is just small club. Wish we could go and press and play like a big team, but we'll park the bus like Burnley. Fair point. David says, anyway, that'll do for tonight. I need to take a breath. If you enjoyed the Steve, leave a like and subscribe. Spot on, David. Carl says, I've missed Bernard, me too. Eugene says, we need to play a 4-2-3-1 formation tomorrow night. Fair play. Maybe Marco Silva to look at that. Axe says, good evening, lad. Good evening. Joe says, you think he will last till January? No. Wayne says, have a good one, mate. Appreciate everyone. Start playing. Need a miracle. Spot on, mate. And big thanks to you for getting involved, Wayne. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's team. Eugene says, see you, bye. Thanks very much, Eugene. See you soon. Big thanks to everyone for watching. Please hit the like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.